Very disturbing scenes we are seeing happening in the nation of Mozambique. They're very disturbing. This is a quote from Thomas Sankara, which reads, "We must choose either champagne for a few or safe drinking water for all."
Vela, os homens da UIR.
Now we are seeing a scene here where we see the military is assisting the protesters there. And in other scenes we see the police assisting the protesters and the nation of Mozambique. That's a military truck there breaking into a building. Now things have gotten serious. If now things are at this stage, there is likely to be a coup in the nation of Mozambique there.
Hey yo, better di sua entrada dos chineses, mano, para moto entrar. Vai aqui. Better daqui, já para di sua entrada, mano. Aí, better di sua entrada, daí. Aí, better a entrar. Di sua entrada, tá vendo? Tá vendo? Quer ver contra essa merda? Hey yo, better.
That's a military truck. Then in another scene we see this.
Pessoal, vela, os homens da UIR.
We see police taking part in looting. The police are there.
Dia 24 hoje. Estão aí a tocar a UIR. Tá aí. Mahindra aqui estancado. Pessoal, vela, os homens da UIR. Pessoal, vela, os homens da UIR. Cada era. Os homens da UIR.
All over social media we're seeing the Sadc under fire for the Mozambique situation. Can the Sadc do anything about the Mozambique situation? Big up to Arnold Zuka watching us live there. Says he must be ready for answering all questions why he contributes in other nation elections. That's the real man who created the chaos.
Os homens da UIR. Dia 24 hoje. Estão aí a tocar a UIR. Tá aí. Mahindra aqui estancado. Pessoal, vela, os homens da UIR. Cada era. Os homens da UIR. Dia 24 hoje. Estão aí a tocar a UIR. Tá aí.
Zimbabwe has never recovered from the year 2000 looting. It never recovered. The infrastructure that was destroyed in the year 2000 in Zimbabwe was never recovered up until today. This is now getting out of control. Hey. What other options are there for the people of Mozambique? This is very, very disturbing. In other stories, we are seeing this. Still to do with Mozambique, we see this one here. Alleged orchestrator of Mozambique violent protests deported from Botswana, arrested in Zimbabwe. Who is this guy? Are these just headlines, or this guy has something to do with the Mozambique protests? Anyways, let's dig in very quickly to find out what is happening here. I'm just gonna give it a quick read here. Alright, this reads, the militant Professor Talent Ruseri, chairman of the Southern African Human Lawyers Commission and a key figure in the ongoing violent protests in Mozambique, has been arrested at Pamtibora Post. Mozambique's top court on Monday confirmed the victory of ruling party Frelimo in October election, which has sparked massive protests by opposing groups who say the vote was rigged. The Constitutional Council has the final say over the electoral process, and its ruling is likely to spark further protests in Mozambique, a Southern African country close to 35 million people that Frelimo has governed since 1975. Rusere, known for his outspoken stance against alleged election rigging in Mozambique, was deported from Botswana yesterday while his asylum application was being processed. It is believed he skipped the South African border when he sensed danger and went into Botswana. The protests in Mozambique, sparked by accusations of electoral fraud in the October 9 presidential election, have claimed multiple lives and led to the widespread destruction of property. Rusere had alleged that over 226,000 Zimbabweans participated in the Mozambican election, a claim he supported with videos shared by the Mirror newspaper, and had called for regional demonstrations against electoral rigging. The aftermath of the protests in Maputo, the capital, and its surrounding province includes fallen power poles, road barricades, and extensive vandalism of police units, fuel stations, and banks. Essential services have been disrupted, with electricity and water supplies restricted in some areas, and passenger transportation has been nearly halted. There is no record or indication that Zimbabweans participated in the electoral process of Mozambique, Matemadanda said, dismissing the claims as baseless. The controversy surrounding the allegations has intensified scrutiny on the Masvingo Mirror, which first published the report with Professor Rusere alleged being the source. Owned by Matthew Takawoma, a former opposition candidate for Gutu Central under Citizen for Coalition Change CCC, the newspaper has been accused of politically motivated reporting aimed at undermining Zimbabwe-Mozambique relations. Government sources have demanded that Masvingo Mirror provide evidence to substantiate its claims, warning if potential diplomatic fallout. Critics and analysts have also raised skepticism over the logistics of 226,000 Zimbabweans voting in Mozambique, calling the figure implausible. Meanwhile, deportation of Rusere has raised eyebrows regarding Botswana's political stance under President Duma Boko, while Botswana activists had hoped Boko would champion democratic forces. His administration growing ties with Harare suggest a different narrative. Rusere, now in Zimbabwean custody, is expected to be taken to Harare as the Zimbabwe Republic Police continues to determine charges against him. So we see one has been arrested here. This guy who is allegedly affiliated to the Masvingo Mirror. Very disturbing, very disturbing scenes we're seeing happening in the nation of Mozambique there. Very disturbing. Big up to Arnold Zuka, says excellent decision from the Sadc chair who contributed in rigging election. Ray Bushu, big up there. Koma Ino, enough respect. Yes, says guys, please like. To those watching us live, guys, can you please click the like button? It helps our videos go further. And also, when you click the like button, you feel good about that. It's a positive thing. People who voted were more than that. That is a message there coming from Koma Ino. So we're seeing all over X.com, we're seeing the Sadc under fire for what is happening in Mozambique, for the Mozambique situation. So far, there hasn't been any response. There hasn't been any response. We see this post again by the Masvingo Mirror. There hasn't been any response from the Sadc. We see this report by the Masvingo Mirror, the writer, Professor Talent Rusere, chairman of the Southern African Human Lawyers Commission, who unearthed the alleged rigging figures of Zimbabweans who voted on October 9. Mozambican election, has been arrested at Plumtree border post. He suddenly found himself being hauled into a car and deported from Botswana yesterday, where his application for asylum was being processed. ZRP is still looking for a charge for him, and he is expected to be taken to Harare. Contrary views that the new Botswana president Duma Boko is in support of democratic forces. Botswana activists appear to have had a rude shock, as he is actually said to be getting closer to the Harare government than they could imagine. Using videos taken by the media of Zimbabweans voting in Mozambique election, Rusere has been very vocal against the rigging election in neighboring country and called for regional demonstrations. So we see, and his image is posted here. So far, we're seeing various people speaking on this. We see again a Zimbabwean journalist, Hopo Chungono, speak on this. What does he say on this? Let us just find out. Jesus. Okay, I'm just seeing for a post from a guy I know. This kind of message make me never tired of sharing my ideas. When you say something or someone comes back to say they listened and acted on your article, that's beautiful. Yes, sir, that is very true. I'll also check out that article. Frisco J. Okay, he really built a beautiful house there in Morewa. Enough respect there. Jesus. Anyways, let's find out what Wopo Chungono is saying on the Mozambique situation. We're seeing an escalation of the Mozambique situation there. Things are spiraling out of control. Sadc has to act right now. This is... if Sadc does not act on this, this will forever destroy Sadc. Ronald Chenjirai Muchibwa says, drama chairo. Rusere aite say. Anyways, we see Wopo Chungono says, post this 1 hour ago. He writes, as I said earlier, the security and political situation in Mozambique is spiraling out of control. The military is now assisting the protesters in looting shops and wholesalers. This is a serious political crisis that requires African leaders, especially South Africa, to demonstrate regional leadership, because its consequences will emerge through illegal immigration. What more must we witness before understanding that this situation needs to be resolved immediately? Do they want to act when protesters are swimming at State House? The fact that the military is now assisting the protesters in looting only further highlights the gravity of this situation. It is important that immediate action is taken to further prevent further escalation and restore peace and stability in Mozambique. 220 Mozambicans have died so far. The disputed election, according to figures released by the Mozambican Center for Democracy and Human Rights, CDD. For those of us who witnessed the Mozambican civil war, we fear the West. Sadc has to act right now. Sadc has to act on the situation that is happening in the nation of Mozambique. We are seeing things are getting out of control right Now, to those of us who can pray, let us pray for the nation of Mozambique. May God be with Africa. May God be with the people of Mozambique. We have to take action. Our leaders have to take action right now. Have to take action today, not tomorrow. We have to take action right now before this situation gets any more out of control. With that, I'm gonna sign out. Make sure you click the like button to help spread this message. And remember this message from Thomas Sankara. We must choose either champagne for a few or safe drinking water for all. That is Thomas Sankara. With that, I sign out. Thank you to everybody who was watching us live right about now. Dr. Clarence broadcasting live and direct from Zimbabwe, Africa. May the good Lord be with us in these dark moments, in these dark times.